Hi everybody, Miss Smith here. Today I'm going to show you how to make chocolate chip cookies. We are going to include some measuring techniques and some mixing techniques. So the first thing that we need to do is cream together the butter and the sugar. So in the large bowl, I have 2 sticks of butter. All right, they were previously softened already. Okay, and then we're going to mix the sugar. So it calls for 3/4 cup of white sugar. All right, so the white sugar, actually, I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup. This is a 1/4 cup measuring cup, so I'm going to do it 3 times. Okay, and how I like to do it, if you saw my video, it is a dip, scoop, scrape. So I like to dip, scoop, then with the metal spatula, I like to scrape it evenly. You don't have to pack it, and then you pour it in there. All right, so we're going to do that 2 more times because it's a 1/4 of a cup. 2. And 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. Now we're going to move on to brown sugar. So brown sugar is brown, and the difference between white and brown sugar is that brown sugar has molasses added to it. So there's some moisture to it, and it gives cookies and baked goods a really nice, rich flavor. So now this is a little bit different. Brown sugar should be packed. White sugar shouldn't. Okay, so my hands are clean. I washed them before. So same thing. I scoop it. And then if you have a smaller measuring cup or measuring spoon, you can kind of just take it, if you can see what I'm doing, and pack it in. And scoop some more in there and pack it in. And then it's like a sandcastle. All right, so when you play in the sand at the beach, you kind of just, if you can see it, I'm going to put it in my other hand just so you can see it. It stays packed together. So that's 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So I'm going to do that 2 more times into the white sugar and the butter. Okay, so I'm packing, adding more, and putting that in. Pack. You want to get out all the air bubbles. Yeah. I was throwing a little extra for some good measure. So now with the hand mixer, I'm going to cream together the butter and the sugar. By creaming it together, it adds air and acts as an extra leavening agent, and it's going to make your cookie a little bit fluffier. So you would do this for about 3 to 5 minutes. You want it to get to a nice creamy consistency, and you'll see all that air making it fluffy looking. So now you can see all that butter and sugar creamed together. Then you're going to add the 2 eggs. The 2 eggs that I cracked are going in there. And then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're going to use the measuring spoons, okay? And you're going to add 1 teaspoon. Going to fill it up to the top. Okay, so 1 teaspoon. So now we have the butter, the sugar, the eggs, and the vanilla in. Okay, and we're going to mix that up. Mix it all together. Okay. Now these are the wet ingredients. The dry ingredients are going to go in a separate bowl. They can go in a smaller bowl. So we're going to do 2 1/4 cups of flour. So we have the flour here. Again, I'm going to do the dip, scoop, scrape again. So you dip. You don't want to pack flour. Okay. Scrape. So that's 1. 2. And then I'm going to use my quarter cup measuring cup. This was 1 cup. This is a quarter of a cup. Okay, and I'm holding the metal spatula not flat because you don't want to pat it. You want to just scrape off the excess. Okay, so now I have my flour in there loosely, and I'm going to our baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm going to find my teaspoon. I'm going to put it in, level up the top, and I'm going to sprinkle that all over. Then I'm going to blend it all together on a low speed. And you'll see as you're mixing that it's going to get thicker into a more of a doughy consistency. And I'll do the best I can to show you what it looks like. Okay, if you don't have an electric mixer, a rubber scraper or a wooden spoon would work as well. So now we have a nice, thick, doughy consistency. Now, this is the best part, the chocolate chips. This recipe calls for 2 cups. I just eyeball it, and this is the best part, so I like to be generous with the chocolate. You can also add nuts if you want, or M&Ms are always fun. All right, and then I'm just going to fold the chocolate chips in. Okay, you don't want to overmix your dough because then it's going to be flat and mushy as it bakes. Okay, you just want to kind of mix it in there a little bit. So lastly, what I like to do is I take a cookie sheet with a piece of parchment paper on it. Be careful that you don't use wax paper. Wax paper and parchment paper are 2 different things. Wax paper will melt and burn. Parchment paper won't. Okay, so then I just like to take like a spoonful and put them about an inch away from each other on the cookie sheet. And then we're going to put them in the oven at 350 for about 10 to 13 minutes. Okay, and I will add when they are done. Okay.